everybody? Welcome back to Steel City Live here on Mike Drop Sports on a Tuesday. And I'm joined by my boy, Sean. What is up, Sean?
What's up, Jason? How you doing over there, brother? It's good to be back.
Living a dream, my friend. Living a dream. Hope you're well. We are back in action. Uh, Doing the thing, man. We're gonna do that Pick'em League with Sean. So he's gonna be able to put the link hopefully in the chat. If not, it'll be in the community section after the show. So if you want to join in and go against Sean and I and several others that are in his group and join a league of pick'ems to where you will pick each game each week and have a little fun with that and earn a little bragging rights here in the chat and the live chat and on the channel. And yeah, just see how it all goes, man. But we'll see how it all pans out. But I think it should be fun. And Sean is organizing that. So if you have any questions, you can put them in the community section on the tab that I create for that. And Sean should be able to look on there and be able to answer you guys' questions and concerns and all that good stuff on there. Is that good with you, Sean?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, you guys. I hope you can join up.
Mm-hmm. Hey man, yeah, to give you a little bragging rights here on the channel. Who's doing the best, man, during the pick'ems, man. So yeah, it'll be up. All right, let me get through the chat a little bit. TD, Robert Rowe, Miss Pittsburgh, what's up? What's up, D? What's up, Tyrone? How are you guys? I hope you're all are well. Robert says, will they sign Boykins to be the gunner? I thought Des Fitzpatrick would make the 53-man roster. Well, yeah, he did not. And the Steelers now go into the season, Sean, with the 5 wide receivers that I had put in the thumbnail: Scotty Miller, Calvin Austin, Van Jefferson, and George Pickens. And who was the last one? Oh, shit. Who did I miss, man? Who did I miss? I said Scotty Miller. I said Calvin Austin. I said Van Jefferson. I said George Pickens. Roman Wilson. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's who I was forgetting. I was forgetting somebody, man. I couldn't think of who I was forgetting. So, but they will roll in, and Robert wants to know who they're going to sign, to be a gunner, because that's probably who was going to be the gunner. But, they're probably minus that guy now on the roster. I'm not sure if they go out there and get a Miles Boykin, a guy that's been a gunner before on this football team. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how that all pans out. I'll see if there's any news on any signings. Sean, you can kind of watch on your end also on the computer. We have those up and flying here. So we'll see if anything goes through while we're on the show. But as of right now, we will just talk about the players that the Steelers have, Sean, on the 53-man roster, whether we think this is, sufficient enough. You heard the wide receiver names, Sean, the guys that they are rolling into the season with. As of right now, who made that 53-man roster? Comfortable? Not comfortable? Do you think they need to add, or is it okay? Just stand pat.
I mean, I feel pretty comfortable with what we have for like the receiving core, and as far as the defense, I'm extremely comfortable with our depth there. But my main concern, obviously, is the offensive line and the quarterback play. But for the 53-man roster, yeah, I'm comfortable with it, bro. I'm curious to see how everybody's going to play.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm not bitching about it, definitely. I think you could have a way worse roster than what they have right now. And I understand Robert's concern about the special teams because that's a big variable, no doubt about it. I just think we're going to have to kind of see how this all plays out in terms of anybody else getting signed. They pick anybody else. You saw the Broncos release several of their wide receivers, one of them being injured, Tim Fitzpatrick, for the past 2 years. But has had a quality preseason this preseason. So we'll see if the Steelers reach out and add another one of those depth piece type guys, another 3, 4, 5 type guy on the depth chart at wide receiver. Maybe that fills a hole. Maybe they go out and get a guy like a Miles Boykin to do some of the special teams things, contribute here and there on offense, or maybe they continue to look for a bigger name guy. But I do think, Sean, that you see maybe a move here. And like you were saying, concerns with the offensive line. I think that has to be the major concern. And I think you should just scrap the wide receiver bullshit and make sure that that offensive line is solidified, dude. I think that that has to be the most important part, Sean. And you said it. That has to be one of the things that this team makes damn sure when they go into 2024 that they have enough depth. They have enough guys. I understand people are injured, but Make sure that you have a plan in place and make sure that offensive line is taken care of. Are you comfortable with a guy like Broderick Jones, maybe perhaps starting the season on the bench? You keep hearing that rumor, Sean. Maybe a guy like a Troy Fautanu who comes back from injury and starts, and Dan Moore starts on the other side. Or would you just rather Broderick be in there, take his growing pains now?
Man, they got to. I think they should go ahead and utilize who's performing well right now. If he's slacking in certain departments or certain areas and he's failing, then yeah, maybe he should sit on the bench and reevaluate himself and work on his craft. So I'm always a fan of whoever you got to ride the hot hand, and that's no matter what position. So, if they got somebody that's out there doing better, I say go with that.
Yeah, I mean, I can never argue the hot hand formula. I mean, I never could say that's a bad decision, no doubt about it. Troy Fautanu, we don't know what he's doing right now because he's coming off an injury himself. Broderick Jones, guys, is injured. And despite, I know he said, oh, my elbow, it's fine. It is what it is. What do people think he's going to say? The guy has an injury. He's wearing a brace. It's probably affecting his play a little bit, Sean, especially offensive linemen. You got to be able to fire off. Get those hands have to be like a cannon, dude, coming out and really latching on to those guys that you're trying to block and really put some force into their chest and knock them back. That's a key component to the offensive line, lineman's play. So, I mean, it has to be done. Yeah, but I'm not sick about riding a hot hand. I mean, whoever that may be, whoever's playing the best, it is what it is. So, guys, we're going to get through the chat. We're going to continue to talk about this Steelers 53-man roster as we've got through the cut down period here. Just make sure you're hitting the shit out of that like button for us here on Steel City Live as I'm joined by our boy Sean tonight. We are going to do the Pick'em League, so make sure you pay attention to that. We are going to get this season rolling and going great for the channel and have great conversation weekly here on the live shows. Let me get through the chat here, see if there's any other questions. Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Pittsburgh Rubber Road. I think one defensive lineman and a safety that make the original 53 will be gone before this weekend. That's another thing, Sean. The 53 set, but you are probably going to see some changes. Would you think that the Steelers go out and maybe try to figure out maybe an addition offensively on the line? Or do you think the bigger priority is wide receiver? Which would be which thought process do you have there as the most important for you, or where you think the Steelers are putting their most importance in right now of what to do?
You got to take care of the line. That always comes first. In my book, it's always going to be the line first, no matter what. And especially with the wide receiving core that the Steelers have right now. I like Van Jefferson. I don't feel like they need to bring in a big name guy right now. I like what I've seen from him, and we got some good depth. Roman Wilson will be coming back. I say stay away from the big name wide receivers and fix the line, because if that's where if you got any line getting bullied around, it's going to be a long day, whether it's offensive or defensive line. That's the trenches, and you got to win in the trenches.
Yeah, and I even learned that lesson this weekend with my kids. We've struggled for the last couple of years on a youth football team of getting the line in, a good working order, man. You have a lot of flux with people moving in and out. It's kind of similar to what you deal with in the NFL. Guys moving in and out, players going to a different team, different level, whatever. But you have that flux, and it's hard to get that line to gel, and that has to be the most important part. But man, when you don't have that line going, man, it causes big trouble. And people think that the Steelers are going to be able to run the football down people's throats, and you're not going to be able to if that line's in trouble, Sean. It's just not going to happen. And I can't get off of it either, though. And I feel like we go over it so much, but I feel like the fan base may lose the importance of that, how important it really truly is. I just feel like we look at the big names and the big skill position players and think like, that's the end all be all,
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, if you got an offensive line getting pushed around by the D line, like Jason says, you're not going to have time to. You're not going to be able to run the ball. The quarterback won't have time to let the receivers get open, so you're not going to have a passing game. You're going to see a bunch of 3-and-outs and sacks on your quarterback, and it goes for the defensive line too. If you're out there getting manhandled by all the other offensive lines, you're not going to be able to stop the run. You're not going to be able to get pressure on the opposing quarterback, which is he'll be able to tear apart your defense and get the receivers all day to get open. it's a lose-lose. You got to fix the trenches. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt, man. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that the Steelers have enough of those young guys that are going to continue to grow, have enough maybe sense to make sure that if there is an available player out there, that they go ahead and fix that up and secure those areas. We'll move on to some other positional groups and some other areas on this football team. But again, guys, you know our thoughts. You know where it has to start. It has to start in the trenches, and the most important players on this football team right now in 2024 is that offensive line group, that defensive front. That's where it is, man. That's where it starts. All right, guys, make sure you're hitting that shit out of that like button for us here on Steel City Live. I'm Jason, that's Sean, and we are rolling on with the show, continuing through the chat. Robert Road brings up an important thing that I had wanted to bring up, and that was Ryan Watts, the cornerback turned safety in the NFL. That was just drafted in the 6th round here in 2024 out of Texas for your Pittsburgh Steelers. And he goes to the IR now with injury, Sean. He will miss the remainder of the season. You saw Terrell Edmonds, a former Pittsburgh Steelers, Sean, get released by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Do you think that there's some place that maybe the Steelers go and sniff around and look for a cheap option to maybe fill in that area a little bit at the safety spot? Or are you comfortable with Fitzpatrick, KZ, and Deshaun Elliott? Do you think the Steelers maybe need to add there in any way, or just kind of rolling with what you got and kind of filling in with other defensive backs to fill that safety role?
Man, I really like with what they have right now. They should just roll with what they got. I mean, if you can get Edmonds to come back on like a cheap deal or something, sure. That doesn't hurt to have a little bit more depth. But I feel all right with what they have. I'm not going to freak out over another injury right now. It's so early right now.
Yeah, and they can mix people around, move people around. You got some bigger players. I know it's kind of hard to do safety, but you can just come out there in different packages and create some different looks. You can kind of hide that one little injury there. Well, not a little injury, but you can kind of hide those types of things a little bit until you get shored up a little bit more. You have Cam Sutton, the guy that's going to be coming back from that defensive backfield late in the season. They actually cut the guy that I thought was going to make the roster, and Graylin Arnold. He's gone. He was the other cornerback that I thought was going to play that slot cornerback role. So that guy's gone. But I want to bring up the roster here and just try to see. They also cut that the fullback, man. What was his name? Shit, I can't think of his name half the time. But anyway, they cut him, that guy that the people were getting a lot of hype for. So yeah, they cut him. I think they cut Perrine too. Yeah, so they cut a good bit of people, man. They cut some people that I thought were bubble guys that were gonna, make the roster, not, ended up not making the roster. So yeah, it is what it is, man. I'm just trying to really go over this roster now, Sean, and kind of just trying to see where I think there is any holes and where I don't think there's any holes. And yeah, I haven't had time to look at it. I've been at football, man, and I did get to look at it a little bit, but I wanted to analyze it a little bit. But it is what
Yeah.
it is. JT, I'm surprised they didn't keep a 4th running back and kept Loudermilk. Yeah, they kept Loudermilk, Sean, to shore up that defensive front a little bit too. I'm thinking that the Steelers are focused on what needs to be focused on, and that is the trenches. So I actually kind of like it. They cut like Dewan Edwards and those guys like that. They didn't keep a 4th running back, but you have some versatile players in Patterson and those types of guys. So hey, it is what it is. We'll see. Trying to get this 53-man roster to load so we can have everybody so we don't make any mistakes. Here, Sean, we'll go through each position group real quick while you're on the show, and that way we can talk about that. And also, I want to talk about that last preseason performance just to get your thoughts on that too. But let's go through the offensive side of the football first, Sean. Quarterback, Kyle Allen, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson. We knew that kind of was going to happen,
Yeah.
so we won't really gab about that too much. Running backs, Najee, Cordell Patterson, and Jaylen Warren. Do you like having Patterson there, Sean, the versatile guy that can return kicks, be a receiver, be a running back? Would you rather have a guy like Patterson, or would you have rather kept another running back on top of those three and maybe sacrifice somewhere else, like a Loudermilk or somebody, would you have felt more comfortable with another running back being on this roster, or are you okay with that?
No, I'm okay with what they have right there. I mean, just Najee Harris has been durable, and I expect him to be durable all year because he's got to make a name for himself. Carl Preston, man, he really was out there like making some good runs. I mean, just on that first play, that first drive, I should say, with Russell Wilson, that was a great
Yeah,
run, bro. Like he hit the hole like with the pedal to the metal. There was no hesitation. He was hitting the hole hard. So I like what
yeah.
he brings to the running back position. I really do. And then Jalen Warren, he's just amazing all the way around, and he's expected back week 1. So I'm feeling good about it, brother.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too, man. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. We will get back to the chat here, guys. So you can keep putting your stuff in there. We'll try to catch up on it here in a minute. We're going to keep going through these offensive position groups. Offensive line, they kept 9 players along the offensive line right now, Sean. You know the story with the injuries. The Herbig out for the season. Dylan Cook, a guy that was injured also. But they keep guys here now on this offensive line at 9 players. Spencer Anderson, James Daniels, Troy Fautanu, Zach Frazier, Broderick Jones, Ryan McCullum, the backup center, Mason McCormick, the guy out of South Dakota State, is a rookie, Dan Moore Jr., and Isaac C. Amalu. How do you feel about the tackle position, Sean? You have Troy Fautanu, Broderick Jones, and Dan Moore Jr. as the key players here. Are you comfortable with that? Or would you maybe sacrifice a guy like a backup center, like a Ryan McCullum, and maybe go out there and add another tackle, a true tackle?
Man, I like who we have at tackle. I like the young talent that's there, and they got Dan Moore Jr. who we've seen worse. So I mean,
Yeah,
I
he
think
there been.
the problem. I don't think that's the problem. I really don't.
No, and I think that the line's got to have some time to gel too. That's a big thing too. You're making a lot of calls, you know. There's a lot of adjustments. You even heard that little mishap in the Detroit Lions game, Sean, where Zach Frazier was tapped by, I believe it was Mason McCormick, the guard, to hike the ball at the time, but it wasn't to hike the ball. He was letting him know that Justin checked out of the current protection they were in and audibled into a new protection. And Zach Frazier, being the rookie, got confused with that because when you're going silent count, you know that the guard reaches over, taps him on the butt, lets him know, hey, we're ready to go, snap it when ready. And that was what Zach took it as. So those kind of things, Sean, that you're going to have to pay attention to, those little things, those details that are going to have to be ironed out. And I don't think you see a complete offensive line that's playing decent until probably like, week 4 or 5, week 6. I think that's when they'll start to hit their stride. I don't think they'll ever be fully, great this season, but I think they can be serviceable to be good to good. And I think they'll build on that for the next couple years. Like you said, guys that are young talent, man. So I'm on board with that. I would rather probably get rid of Ryan McCullum and allow Mason McCormick and James Daniels to back up Zach Frazier at the center spot and maybe bring in another tackle. That's just me. But I don't think it's a major issue right now. I think they could kind of roll into week 1 that way. All right, going into the tight end room, Sean. This is a little bit different here how they put this roster together. They put Pat Fryermuth, McCole Pruitt, the former Atlanta Falcon that is familiar with Arthur Smith's system. And then you have big Darnell Washington. So they only keep technically 3 tight ends, technically just listed as just tight ends. Then you go down to the tight end / fullback, and that is Connor Hayward. So you have 4 tight ends, but in reality, you have 3 in a hybrid player. Are you okay with the depth there? Do you think they should have maybe kept one more true tight end and allowed Connor Hayward just to kind of be the fullback on the roster? Or do you like how they kind of killed 2 birds with 1 stone, keeping Connor Hayward as the fullback / tight end and only keeping 3 true tight end onlys?
Yeah, again, I'm comfortable with that move. Also, I mean, I really like the fact that we have Connor Hayward that we can utilize in multiple ways. And big Darnell Washington with Fryermuth, that's amazing. And then those guys are amazing. And then Pruitt, the fact that he knows Arthur Smith's system, it's just a win-win again. I really like what's going on here with what we talked about so far. I have
Yeah,
no
I don't
problem.
think it's bad. No, I don't think that's bad either. And what we had talked about earlier in the offseason, Connor Hayward and his versatility, how he's going to be able to be used. And I think that that's all really, really cool too. I agree with you. All right, man, guys, make sure you're hitting that shit or hitting the shit out of that like button for us here on Steel City Live. Only here on Mike Drop Sports. I'm Jason. That's Sean. Make sure you share the show. Also, it really, truly helps shoot us out into the weird world of the YouTube algorithm. So we are going to continue on here with the offense. Then we'll take a little bit break before we dive into the defense and get back to the chat a little bit. But let's talk about these wide receivers, which we did a little bit. Just confirming Calvin Austin III, Van Jefferson, Scotty Miller, George Pickens, Roman Wilson. We talked about that at the top of the show, Sean. I don't think we really need to say much more there, unless there's anything else you would like to add about that group. Are you good with that?
No, like I say, I'm good with that group. And I'm glad they didn't bring in a big name receiver outside of the Steelers organization. So I did not want Brandon Ayuk or anything like that. So yeah, let's go with it. Let's roll with what we got. Got it. Roll that
Let's
dice.
roll with what we have. That's it. JT, back in the chat, or even a fourth quarterback. Yeah, they didn't keep a fourth quarterback. They allowed Plumlee to walk. So that guy is out. Fields or Wilson do any better? I feel like Fields still has work to do. Wilson is the true clear-cut number one. Don't listen to the national media, guys. There has never been a quarterback competition. There is no quarterback competition. Stop reading into that. There is none. But you hear the national media keep hyping up. Mike Tomlin hasn't made his decision. He's not going to make it until the end of the work week. Who cares? We know what the damn answer is. It doesn't even freaking matter. But to answer D's question, I thought Wilson played a little bit better. I thought Fields has showed signs of being a little bit better, but still a lot of work to be done there. And I just hope for steady, consistent quarterback play. That's all I'm looking for. Danny George, good looking background there, Jason. And hey, Sean, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Robert Rowe, Tim Patrick was signed to the Lions practice squad. So there you go, guys. Tim Patrick off the board. That was a rumor earlier today. I had that part of my show when he had not yet been released by the Broncos. That was a name that was floating around. I didn't agree with it. I just don't like guys that are injury prone like that, that spend years in the injuries in the training room. It's not somebody I'm looking to have. Danny Jordan needs flashing lights. I might put some crazy lights back here one day, man. Yeah. Me and Sean, we're going to be stepping our game up here, man. I'm going to be, that's something too. Let me say this real quick, Sean, before we move on with the chat. We're going to be hopefully upping our production value a little bit, guys. I'm trying to work with Nick from Sleeper Sports Media, and trying to have him kind of do a producer type role here on our show, to help Sean and I, especially when we're doing this, and really just add, a higher, more professional level of production for you guys, and really step our game up. So you should see some more stuff here from Sean and I, and more stuff with Nick, maybe producing some stuff, coming in, maybe contributing for us here and there, and just upping our game a little bit, dude. Upping our game, Sean. That's how we roll, baby.
Onward and upward. That's the only way to roll.
That's it. What about Sky Moore? That's from Tyrone Johnson. I don't know. Has he been signed? Has he been moved? What? I got to look him up, man. I got to see Sky Moore real quick, just before I make any moves or talk about a Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver. Is there any news on Sky Moore? No, I guess he's still with the Chiefs. I don't know what about Sky Moore. I don't know anything really in depth about him right now. I have to do a little bit more. Yeah, I'm not
Again,
sure.
once you get that producer rolling, man, we'll have a lot of help with things like that.
Yes, that's the type of shit yes, Sean, no doubt. Where guys, when you ask questions, yeah, the producer could help us with some of the information instead of us taking the time and looking things up and doing all that, we can have a more steady flow. That is true, man. No doubt about it, Sean. That's definitely going to help. Sky Moore is from New Kensington, Pennsylvania, though. That's an interesting fact. 194-pound, 5'10". I don't know about him. We'll see, man. Brian Hanford, what's up, Mafia? Good to see Sean. Let's go, Steelers. Absolutely, man. No doubt. No doubt. John Broadway, hey, yins, guys. Like any deck of cards that needs to be reshuffled to create a better deal. Yeah, you do. That's a good analogy for a football team. You always got to reshuffle. You always got to reload the cupboard. Brian Hanford, who is still on the bubble, supposed signings to come. Who gets the bump? I think Brian, and like we were just talking about, like if you look at a position like the offensive line, you look at a guy like a Ryan McCullum, Sean. Those guys, there's still guys that are on the bubble. Regardless of position group, Sean, do you think that Omar Khan does something here in the next couple days? Do you think there is some move, or do you think the Steelers are just out of the game of moves right now? Do you think they're just going to kind of stand pat, or do you think that there is something coming and up the sleeve of Omar Khan?
I, for some reason, I just feel like nothing's coming. Omar Khan he doesn't go out reaching for these deals. They got to come to him, and it's got to be worthwhile. And I don't think there is anything out there that's really worthwhile. People want too much for too little. So I think the Khan man's going to hold strong with what he brought already, and we're going to cook with what's going on. And like you said, the team's going to gel. They're going to fix these little problems, and it's going to be a solid football team.
Yeah, I think he makes a move. Sean thinks they stand pat. So we'll see, guys. We'll see what happens. I think it could go either way, and I think it could very well go the way, like Sean was saying, that he just stands pat. I think that could very well happen, no doubt about it. But I got faith in the con artist. I think there's something still in there. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
But there are bubble guys, and what I think probably happened, Sean, is there's all these cuts all over the league, which they need to act on them really quick. I just think they may reshuffle some guys in and out, like a tackle for a backup center, shit like that. I don't know. We'll see, but I think maybe they do a little bit of that here ahead of the season. Beer Malls, what's up, Mafia? Brent, I don't know how much longer you got, but much love, y'all. What's up, Big Brent? We won't read that stupid comment. D says they should have kept the offense the exact same as last year, but brought in Wilson to be QB2 to Mason. I don't agree with standing pat. Like, I think that there should be some adjustments. I think you should always be tweaking. We know how I feel about the quarterback situation. We know how you guys feel about that too. In some instances, where some of you, I just thought Deontay Johnson was a cancer in the locker room, in my opinion. I just don't like guys that do some of the things he does. I thought it was starting to sway a young player like George Pickens down that same path, and hopefully that's fixed. But I like chemistry, Sean, but I do always think you should make little tweaks and adjustments and try to upgrade. I thought the offensive line was freaking horrible last year, and I don't know if you could get much worse. I think Zach Fraser, though, Sean's going to be a hell of a massive upgrade over a guy like Mason Cole. How about you?
Man, he's already shown that he's just a whole nother level, and I'm super pumped to see what he can bring to the offensive line. The guy looks amazing all through preseason.
Yeah, I like him, bro. I think he's going to be a monster, dude. I think he is going to be a real monster. Wonder if Zach Frazier could ever answer your homeboy, Double J, from Mike Drop Sports, and get Jason an answer on Instagram, Zach Frazier. If you're out there listening, a guy from West Virginia, I want to get an interview with you, buddy. I'll come to you. I'll sit down. I'll film it. Holler at your boy, Zach. I message you. Mike Drop Sports. Holler at your boy.
It'll happen, brother. It'll
uh, you should. I'm a West Virginia homeboy. Get rid of Tomlin. I don't think that'll happen, but I wouldn't mind it. Hell's freaking yeah, Shroom. Jamal. Steelers really America's team. They're the world's team, bro. It ain't just America's team. They're the world's team. There's
That's
only
right.
one way to root, baby. Amp Mitchell, roller, what we have. Roller out with what we got. There's one vote for you, Sean. Roller with what we got. We are going to get into the defense too here, guys. Robert Road and the Steelers never keep 8 defensive linemen. I know Liao is counted there, but is more an outside linebacker, at least until Moon comes off IR. There are a couple of those guys too, Sean. You have Jeremiah Moon. You have players like that are going to start out on IR. They won't be available for the first 4 weeks of the season. So they're out for 4 games. But I have one interesting player that's not on the Steelers that has been placed on that IR that won't be able to perform in any game action until week 5. And that was Nick Chubb from the Cleveland Browns. Do you think that is a big hurt for the Cleveland Browns or what, man? I know he was missing all last year after Minka Fitzpatrick had that bad accident with him. But man, shit, Nick Chubb, do you think he's going to bounce back, Sean?
If he does, that's almost unreal. Like that's such a
That was
huge
bad.
injury to come back from in such a short amount of time, and yeah, it makes me wonder: are they rushing him back? Like this guy's already that's a second time doing this in his career, and I think a third time would be it. So hopefully, they're not rushing it too much. But
Yeah.
if he really is 100% and he's healthy, then good for him, man, and good for the Cleveland Browns. I applaud that.
You also have for the Steelers too, Cole Holcomb on the pup list also. I don't think he plays, Sean, this season. What do you think? He's another guy that had a horrific injury. I don't think you see Cole Holcomb this year. And if you do, it's very late in the season. What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I don't see him coming back either, man. Like those are the kind of injuries you just don't want to rush back from at all, and I wouldn't push it. They should just consider him done for the year and have him do rehabilitation until next year. And if he's at 100%, then great, make a run for it. But I wouldn't rush it.
No, I just don't want to see a guy go out there, push the issue, man, and end their career totally. And, I'd rather see him take a year off, man. And the same with Nick Chubb. He's a guy that is a fantastic runner. And if you're a football fan, you enjoy watching quality players, man, no matter who they play for. You enjoy watching the skill that is put out there on the football field. And I don't want to see a guy the caliber of Nick Chubb rushed out there either, all for the sake of a W, man. I'd rather take that hit. And yeah, I agree with Sean. Don't rush that shit. Brent Edmonds is just like his brother, solid but not good enough. Terrell Edmonds, Sean, when he was with the Steelers, I thought he did what he had to do. I don't think he was fantastic, but I think he was more important to the Steelers team than most people thought. I liked Terrell when he was here. But I wasn't super sad when he left either. What about you?
Right, I feel the same. He kind of got cooked a little bit here and there, but there was times where he would come out and make a play, and he's a veteran out there, so that's always a good thing. But he's nothing to go reaching out for and to make a big deal about at all. I was kind of stoked when he was gone too because I wanted to see changes in the defensive
Yeah.
back area in the safeties.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. He knows Minka. That'd be the only thing. If you brought him back for a depth piece for no money at all, basically, sure, why not? I mean, it is what it is. But I don't think that happens. We'll see what happens, though. You never know. D says the biggest hole is that head coach. I can't argue. I can't argue. I can't argue. No, Beer Malls agrees with D. Brett, D, where are you going to get another Tomlin? Or where are you going to get another Tomlin is most tenured coach? How are you going to let Tomlin go when he's the best coach on the bird? Uh, I don't know what the answer is. That's what people always say whenever we talk about maybe Tomlin coming to the end of his showing for the Steelers, the end of his time. Where were the Steelers going to turn when they lost Bill Cowher? Where were they going to turn when they lost Chuck Noll? You heard of nobody really. You didn't have no answers that were immediate, Sean. So I kind of think it is what it is. It's kind of the same thing, whenever a guy like Mike Tomlin's done, you go and find that next young guy, man, and roll the dice.
Yeah. And like you said, there is nobody really better. Who are you going to bring in that's going to be better than Tomlin? Like for real, you guys. That's just kind of I don't know. I mean, there's probably better coaches, but he's good enough to where players want to come and perform, and maybe he can change my mind on this whole postseason thing this year. I hope they can go out there and get some wins with the team that he built and without a bunch of Bill Cowher players.
Hey guys, hang your hat on Bill or Mike Tomlin having a losing record in the post or in the preseason. It means good things, man. I'm telling. It's it. Hey, Sean, it's true. It's true.
Like I say, we might get to see something special this year. We'll see.
I gotta keep saying it, Sean. I need to speak it into existence. I need a magical run in my life, man. I don't care if they win a Super Bowl. I just need one of those long postseason runs to where the town is excited, the fan base is pumped up. It's just super fun to be around. A lot of stuff to talk about and enjoy. I just need one of those in my life, man.
If the offensive line can gel and they stay healthy this year, we can have that. It can happen. But that's where I feel like my biggest concern is that damn offensive line.
No doubt, bro. I agree. Wave those towels for Miss Pittsburgh. Appreciate it, Miss Pittsburgh. Brett, do the Steelers rotate guys in on D line? McDermott's thing is rotating D line. The Steelers do rotate people in. I don't know how McDermott operates his rotation, but you do see the Steelers rotate guys in and out. You see guys like Cameron Hayward coming out on third down at times. You see different situations bring different players in. So, that all does happen, but yeah, we'll see. I think there's some depth there. You speak of the defensive line, guys, and the Steelers have kept 8 defensive linemen. Well, eight players along that defensive front. Montravius Adams, Keanu Benton, Cameron Hayward, DeMarvin Leal, who has been seeing a lot of time at outside linebacker. Rookie Logan Lee, Isaiah Loudermilk, Dean Larry Ogunjobi. I'm solid with that group. What about you, Sean? I know that people were worried about it this offseason and that it lacked maybe depth, but after watching Keanu Benton play, I'm comfortable with that. Are you?
Yeah, like I said, I like Keanu Benton also, and I'm totally comfortable with what the defensive line is. The defense is going to be solid this year, I think. If they can just avoid these big injuries, I think that they're going to do some magical things. Top 5 defense in the NFL coming your way, 2024.
Boom, boom, baby. I agree. I think it's going to be a top 5, top 3 unit in the NFL, and I really like it. I think Mon Adams has stepped up this preseason. Keanu Benton, again, I think DeMarvin Leal, for the first time in his career, has had a good preseason, and I expect big things out of him. And I think he could be a guy that moves in and out and creates some chaos and versatility, keeps the offense guessing, maybe adding another layer, another odd, eccentric dynamic. And I like that. I like weird wonky players along the defense. I like guys that can do a little bit of everything. I really, really do. So I'm okay with that defensive front, no doubt about it. Russ, what's up, man? How are you? Russ says, "What's up, Jason and Sean?" Robert, Dylan Cook, and Moon are on the IR and allows for them to return this season. Watts, the linebacker from the LB from Germany that played at Michigan, are not eligible to play this season. Yeah, I don't know what that linebacker's name was, but Watts, no, he can't. And Dylan Cook and Jeremiah Moon, are eligible after game 4. Let me keep going. Everybody, let me get through here. Hold on, guys. Let me get through chilling with my Steelers family. Hell yeah. Beer Moss Tomlin is stubborn. He hates and feeds the media crap, feeds the fans crap. He is more animated during a press conference than a real game. He is a product of an inherited great team. Guys, it's tough to argue some of that. I think Tomlin is a good coach on his own. I do, but he did inherit a great team. He did, and I can't argue that. And I think there got to be changes, no doubt about it. Hi, Imp. Oh, he's talking to them. Brent, Beer Malls, when was the last time Tomlin sent 12 men on the field during a game winning kickoff? He's had lots of mistakes. It is what it is. We'll just have to see, guys, how this all goes down, no doubt about it. Uh, I know this is a Steelers show from Brent, but how about Buffalo? Joe Anderson grew up in Buffalo, undrafted rookie, showed up in open tryouts, makes the damn 53. I love stories like that, Sean, and I think that is an amazing one. That's what they write movies about, bro. You know?
Yeah, I love that stuff too, man. That's great. Can you imagine how proud that his family must be? That's
Oh,
great. Awesome.
dude, no doubt. Just getting that call saying, "Hey, bro." You're here. You're on the damn team, man. Good work. Just what a feeling that must be. What a high he must be on, you know?
What was he doing before he was getting drafted in the NFL? That's my question.
Bagging groceries down to Piggly Wiggly, bro.
Like Kurt Warner, hey, it happens, man. It's so cool when it does.
Hey, man, no doubt. We do love everybody there, Russ. Absolutely. All fans from everywhere. Unless you're a Baltimore Ravens fan, then we don't got nothing for you. Sam Mason, do you think Watt get 4 sacks week 1? I'm thinking he does. I don't think 4 sacks is a lot, man. If anybody can do it, he does it. But I posed a question on Twitter or X, rather, whatever you want to call it. And I want to ask Sean this question. Nick Herbig, over under here, Sean, 7.5 sacks. What do you think? I'll take the over for Nick Herbig. I think he gets more than 7.5 sacks this season. I think this is going to be a breakout year for young Nick Herbig in year 2 of this campaign for him in the NFL. What do you think? Over or under, Sean?
Over. That's easy. The guy's going to be utilized a lot more this year. The guy, I mean, look what he did in preseason. He was out there for like what? How many snaps? And he had 2 sacks in that last game. Like,
3.5 total.
Bro, the guy's get. I bet you he gets a sack a game. I'll give him 10 sacks.
There you go, dude. I like it. 10 sacks, double-digit sacks. Could that be in the cards for young Nick Herbig? Could he make a monster splash, guys? I think he can. What's up, Andrew Hall? Yo. Beer Miles, the boy Tomlin has a great AFC North record, which is always good. Yeah, he wins. The wins are up there with Bill. Tomlin bombs in the playoffs. He bombed last year in 2 back-to-back home games against 2-12 teams. Yeah. But if you guys honestly, and I'm not going to even defend Tomlin, but if you look at his overall record against losing our teams with losing records, Sean, Mike Tomlin does have a winning record against them, and it's by a large margin. It just when you lose to those teams, those 2-12 teams, it just stands out, and people remember them. You know what I mean? It may necessarily not be the trend, but it sure the hell seems like it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
No doubt about it. All right, guys, we're about 42 minutes into the show. We're going to continue to break down this defense that is on the 53-man roster here after cutdown day and continue to go through this. And we're almost done with the whole roster here. But we will get to the next position group, the linebackers. So keep putting your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the chat. We will try to catch up with it the best we can. But however, make sure you're hitting the shit out of that like button. You guys are doing so good tonight. We're almost up to 30 on my end, at least I see. So make sure we get those likes continue to pour in there for us. I would truly appreciate it. And make sure you share the content and continue to help spread the word of Mic Drop Sports and the show that we do every single day, our daily live show. So thank you again. I appreciate it. And don't forget one more thing, one more bullshit, shameless plug. Hit the 99 cents Mafia membership. It's going to start paying off for you here during the season with exclusive content and your emojis and badges, and you get priority in the chat during the season when the chat is usually hopping off. Russ says, I thought for sure Des Fitzpatrick would make this roster. He was one of the guys that I thought would not, and I said that before training camp, Sean. I said that during mini camps. I've thought all along that he was that guy riding the fence in the bubble. So maybe they find a way to figure out a position for him. I don't know, and bring him back some other way, specialist or something. I don't know. But I don't think the road leads to him being on the Steelers roster in 2024. So it's a bummer. He was there working hard. That's what you feel bad for some of them guys, Sean, out there busting their ass working hard, and then it's like over. 1,000 players got cut today.
Man, that is crazy. A lot of people's hearts got broken today, but it's a dog eat dog world, man, and you got to really shine when you have the chance.
No doubt. 1,000 players got the call to say, "Suck it, you're out, bro. You blow." Brent, Russ, he's talking to Russ. Andrew Hall, Tomlin lost a playoff game with a third string quarterback. I don't think Mason Rudolph was a true third string quarterback, considering he played way better than both the first and the second string quarterback. If you ask me, Mason Rudolph was the first string quarterback on that ball club. It was just overlooked by Mike Tomlin, so I consider that another coaching error. Sorry, god damn, bro, I cannot talk. I think Deontay was only a cancer once. They threw Rudolph under the bus. Um, no, I think Deontay was a cancer all the time. I don't know how they would have threw Rudolph under the bus, but Rudolph just didn't get the chance, man. Just didn't get the chance, sadly. No doubt about it. What's
Yes.
the Steelers fans' favorite charity from the team? I don't know, bro. I don't know about probably Cam Hayward's Cam's Closet, where he gives suits and stuff to young men and helps the young youth dress for interviews, college applications, and things of that nature, college interviews, stuff like that, jobs. So I would think that's my favorite. Do you know of any, Sean?
Brett Kiesel, when he used to shave the beard, that was one, bro. Does he still do that? That was a good one.
I think he does. I do. I can't remember, but I don't know what charity that was for, though, but that was cool. Where they
Yeah,
shaved the beard and shit.
I like Brett. He was awesome.
Absolutely. I'm going to think of a good charity too and start to take a percentage of the YouTube payment, which is nothing basically. I don't really get much, maybe a couple $100 or something. But yeah, I want to start taking a percentage of that and trying to find a good youth, like a kid's charity, to take a percentage of that to have automatically taken out and sent to a good charity that deals with the kids. Maybe some youth sports program or something for like a depressed area that don't have enough money to buy the equipment and shit, something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, no doubt. Maybe one day we'll get big enough and do that kind of stuff. Beer Malls, man, a third string quarterback. That was the best quarterback on the team. Yeah, Tomlin got wins with no quarterbacks. He has. I got to give it to him. He's kept the team afloat. I just think people are sick of the mediocrity, and that has to fall on Mike Tomlin's shoulders too. I think, Sean, that roster management and bringing certain players in and cultivating a culture in which players can develop and learn and not go from the Steelers where they were doing terrible and go to another team in which they do really well. I think that culture needs fixed. I think that rests at the feet of Mike Tomlin. Do you?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. That is Mike Tomlin thing right there.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I think it's very important. Mark Malone says, hopefully Cleveland fields a team of 11 Watsons on O. Yeah, they all blow. Yeah,
Oh my
the
God.
pervert. Yeah, he should just get perv written on the back of his jersey. I'm a douche. Mark Malone. What's that?
The masseuse is going to run for the hills there.
No doubt. They're talking back and forth. I'm going to get out of your guys' conversation here and let you guys talk back and forth. Green Bay Packers, we won versus Baltimore Ravens. Oh, boy. Green Bay. When they play them? Is it a preseason game? Or when's the first game? Is it Baltimore, Green Bay? I thought it was Chiefs in Baltimore. I don't remember. No, I think they played them last year, Sean. I think.
Chiefs and Ravens. Who's going to win? Save it for the pigskin pick 'em. Go in there and make your picks, guys.
That's it. Yeah, guys, join the league. We're going to post the link in the community section. It is an ESPN fantasy league, pigskin pick'em. You don't have to pick players. It's picking games. It's easy. It's fun, and it'll give you some bragging rights here on the channel. We will post the link here in the community section for you guys to go join Sean's league and have some fun with us and see if you can beat us by picking games and beat Sean's crew that he has in there that play every single year. So I think it would be really fun to grow that and have a lot of people in there. So please make sure you guys do that. It's free, it's easy, and we should have a good time.
Yep, we'd love to see you guys in there. It's really easy, like Jason said.
Amen, baby. What's it called? The Wolf Pack?
Yeah, it's called Pigskin Pick'em, like you say, off ESPN. And yeah, I got a group of people. We've been doing it for years. We're called the Wolf Pack. And we're going to invite you guys in. Jason's in there representing Mike Drop Sports. And we just go in there and you just pick who's going to win what game on that weekend. That's it. and you put it in priority on who you're most confident in. And at the end of the day, you get to see who predicted the most games being won, and it all tallies up to the end of the season. And whoever predicted the most wins is the winner. It's all bragging rights. Would love to see you guys in there. Let's see who knows what.
Yeah, I should get a shirt that says, "I'm about to smack that ass, boy."
Woo! Let's get
I'll
it.
probably suck, bro. I'll probably be like 0 and 900 for the year.
No, you're gonna do good, bro.
Oh man, I hope it can mean good things. It can also mean nothing. I vote for drunken street bum. I love drunken street bums. Even a drunk has a suit. That was from some movie I remember, and they were like, even a bum has a damn suit. Oh, remember the Titans?
Oh,
Yeah, he said that. He's like, if you don't have one, go find yourself the nearest bum. Even a bum, you can trade him for his suit. Even a bum has a suit. I love that. That was awesome.
that was a
Oh,
classic movie.
amen, man. All right, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button for us. We're almost done. We're in our last 10 minutes of the show. I was shortening them up, but tonight we ran a little bit over. I was doing about 45 minutes. So we're going to go through this last couple defensive position groupings here, Sean. And then if we have time, we'll continue to get back into the chat, guys. So don't forget to support us by liking the channel, subscribing to the channel, sharing the content. We would really, truly appreciate it. We're trying to get to that 4,000 mark. We're almost there, man. We need like 480. We need like 480 subscribers. So let's get that. Linebackers, Nick Herbig, Alex Highsmith, Tyler Medikevich, Patrick Queen, Landon Roberts, Mark Robinson, TJ Watt, and Peyton Wilson. Sean, Mark Robinson might be the guy that surprises me the most. I thought Kyron Johnson, the young guy, did enough this preseason, but pretty much the same guys as last year, except for Patrick Queen, Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson, and Tyler Medikevich. Everybody else is kind of familiar from last year. I like that group. I think there's a lot of speed there. I think they're going to be one of the toughest groups at linebacker in the NFL, inside and out. What's your thoughts on that linebacker 8?
Yeah, I was also surprised by Robinson and the Medikovic, but they brought him in for a reason. But yeah, dude, this is where I feel the best at. I'm most excited for the linebackers, man. Especially that Peyton Wilson, the addition of Peyton Wilson. I can't wait to watch this guy fly around the field and make these big plays. So yeah, as far as the linebacking crew goes, this is where all my excitement lies. And like I say, this is going to be a fun season to watch this defense kick some ass.
I can't wait to see that speed opening weekend, man, when the Steelers go down to Atlanta and put that ass whooping on the Atlanta Falcons. I think the inside linebackers are going to eat, baby. They are going to eat, boy. I can just feel it. Defensive backs, Sean, they keep 10. Beanie Bishop Jr. Is the surprise there for me. I thought that he had fallen off. He was, really performing well, but training camp in practices, but wasn't able to translate it to the preseason games. I thought Graylin Arnold was playing a little bit better than him. I thought that maybe Beanie was going to be left off. I had high hopes for Beanie Bishop Jr. I thought that he's a solid player, but I just thought that the way that the preseason had worked out, that Beanie might have been left off of there. But you have Beanie Bishop Jr., you have Deshaun Elliott, Jalen Elliott, Minka Fitzpatrick, Dante Jackson, DeMonte Casey, Miles Killebrew, the special teams guy, captain, and Joey Porter Jr., Darius Rush, and your guy, the Avatar, Corey Trice. Roll those damn dice.
Yeah, he made it. He made it. They were questioning whether he was going to make it out after that injury, and here he is back on the 53-man roster, baby.
Yeah, man. Leg tightness is what he had. Now I don't know what that means, Sean. I don't know what leg tightness is. I don't know. I don't know. Your whole leg tight? I don't know what that means, man. It gets
Well,
crazy.
hopefully it's
Yeah.
not a hamstring thing, but I'd like to see him out there.
Do you like it? Do you like that defensive back room? I think it'll be a quality unit.
Oh yeah, bro, this is so much better than what we had last year. This is going to be a solid year for the DBs also. it's going to just be, like I say, we're looking at one of the top 5 defenses in the whole NFL, and it's because of these lineups right here. These defensive backs, the linebackers, all the way up to the defensive line. It's going to be great.
I think so too, man. I like this defense a lot. I can't say enough about them. Kickers. Boss! Here comes Santa Boss. Here comes Santa Boss. Right down Santa Boss Lane. Oh, I love it. I love Boss, man. I think he's going to have a big year. Hey, we got a real punter, Cameron Johnston. And big news out of the San Francisco 49ers camp. One Presley Harvin hits the street. He got cut by the San Francisco 49ers. Could say we told you so, but yeah, we told you so.
I was laughing at that because I showed my wife. I was telling her, I was like, "Look, you guys got Presley Harvin kicking the ball for you. That's horrible. You don't want that. Trust me." But yeah, sure thing.
That's
They cut
it.
him.
That's right. Sean's wife is a 49ers fans, guys. So yeah, their house is divided right now, especially with the Ayuk shit, the 49ers, releasing the former Steeler, shitty Presley Harvin. Yeah, man. You guys got some turmoil over there in your sports.
Oh man, I told her the same thing, man. Well, we're gonna be fine at the wide receiver position. We don't need Brandon Ayuk.
Keep his ass. I don't know how the 49ers pay for everybody, dude, because honestly, you look at it, they're going to have to rework Trent Williams this year. Or he ain't coming to play. They're going to have major issues with Brock Purdy. He's going to be due money. The Niners are already monster amounts of money over the cap. That's without paying Brandon Ayuk. I don't know how they come up with all this money. It's going to take a real wizard at the cap, or you are going to see this team literally have one more chance at running at that title. And if they don't kiss the sticky Lombardi here in 2024, 2025 season, they are going to be assed out, bro. And I think they're going to be in a total monster rebuild. That's going to take a lot of time to dig themselves out of. I just think that. I just think it's starting to steer that way.
Yep, that window of opportunity is just getting smaller and it's getting smaller, and then pretty soon, nothing.
And I think that's why Steelers fans should really respect what Omar Khan has been able to do by keeping the cap number at a reasonable, level and understanding the dynamics of the financial portion of this league and really doing things that make sense and not digging the Steelers into a tremendous hole. I think that is ultra important, and I think it's highly overlooked. And I know some fans are like, spend it all, spend more than you got. But you can't do that all the time. You can do it sometimes. You can go wild sometimes, but you just can't do that, Sean, all the time. And I think in my eyes, that's what I admire most about Omar Khan. His ability to handle that cap situation. Do you think that he has done a solid job so far in his first 2 seasons with the Steelers in that aspect?
Yeah, I give him an A. I think he's done a great job. He didn't go reaching for anybody. He didn't make any plays out of emotion. He stayed calm and he held his cards close and let kind of the cookie crumble the way it's supposed to crumble. And I think we're in a good position right now for this year. And I think it's also set up for, like you said, a good position in the future to where the Steelers aren't going to be hit by the cap, and be in a really tough financial situation. I think it's all going to pan out very nicely.
Yeah. Hey, man, we're gonna have some cap money next year, next season, next off season is gonna be truly interesting, man. I can't wait to be doing a lot of content for that, but I'm gonna enjoy this ride here in 2024. All right, Sean, any closing thoughts here on Steel City Live, our Tuesday edition, where I'm joined by my boy Sean. I'm Jason, so make sure you're hitting that like button. We're gonna go through some closing thoughts. Anything, Sean, that you want to bring up here to wrap the thing up?
Yeah. You know, I'll bring it up. We did our way too early predictions for the
Oh,
Steelers this year, and I started out saying, I think the Steelers are going to go 12-5. I still feel like that's pretty close to where I wanted it to be, but after watching the preseason and seeing how everything's unfolding with injuries and everything, I'm leaning more towards 10-7. You guys, that's going to be my. I'm going to go with 10-7. I think the Steelers are going to be having a pretty good year with 10 wins. That's what I think.
I think that is a position in which you can back into the playoffs from. So I can't argue that. I think that that's probably pretty accurate, pretty close to where I think they'll be. I'm going to stand honestly by my way too early prediction, and I'm going to continue to ride with that 11-6. I think Arthur Smith and Justin Fields are going to be a steady enough presence, and coupled with that defense, hopefully, if they remain healthy, that they will be able to pull out that extra, just one little win there. Hopefully, that helps them in terms of getting into the playoffs and being able to maybe possibly make some noise. But what does it boil down to, Sean? Health, baby. Health.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I'm changing mine, I'm going to knock off 2 games, going down to 10. I'd probably be more comfortable around 11 where Jason's at, but I can't choose the same as Jason. I got it. So I'm going to go down below 110.
That's it. We mix it up, baby. We give you it all. We give you it all. All right. Well, that's it, guys. Again, I always thank and appreciate Sean for coming on and joining us. He's on Tuesdays now. So we're just move and adapt whenever he's off of his work schedule. So we are back here on Tuesdays. Usually it's Sean and I now, and we're going to continue to roll with it. And thank you, Sean. Again, I appreciate you, my friend. So thank you very much. And
Thanks for having me.
anytime, buddy. Anytime, as always. But we are gonna be back again tomorrow with a live show. So make sure you hit the like button again before you leave. Make sure you share, do all that good stuff. And again, we will get that link posted in for the pick'ems. And please join that and have fun with us because I really think that would be something fun for all of us, man. And I want to thank Sean for presenting that to us and giving us that opportunity to have a little bit of fun. So yeah, man. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure. And I hope to see you guys in there. It will be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, no doubt. And guys, I apologize if we didn't get to you in the chat tonight, but we will get to everybody tomorrow. So bring your questions back again tomorrow. And we just ran out of time tonight. So until tomorrow, I'm Jason. That's Sean. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace. See you,
Peace
Sam.
out. Take care, everybody.
Later, bro.
Later, brother.